we have a load of insulation. And what this is like foam rubber sheets. And they are kind of remnants from a local manufacturing company that creates, you know, all kinds of different things out of foam. And I was able to get a load of this so that we can use it as insulation on our cabin. So, you know me, I'm all about saving a buck. And the insulation part of this project is mainly sealing out the wind, a little bit of insulation purposes, but we don't need anything major as far as insulation goes because we have a good wood stove and we're not going to be running an air conditioner or anything. So this is the perfect product to do what we need to do, and we have plenty of it. So now I'm going to undo the straps and we're going to stack all of this nice and neat on the porch and then put some stuff on it so it don't blow away, because the stuff does want to get away from you. Ask me how I know. Because we drove an hour to get this and we lost pretty much the entire load off on the shoulder of the highway. We were about to lose it and I pulled over, but in order to fix it, I had to undo the straps and everything slid out of the bed of the truck onto the shoulder of the highway. And I had to reload all of it. So that's why it's kind of a mess right now. But anyway, we're gonna get this unloaded and stacked up. All right, so we got all the insulation unloaded and stacked up here, and then we put the pallet back on top of it and a little bit of weight. That way the wind doesn't blow it all over the woods. All right, guys, well, we are back up here working on the insulation to the cabin. And yesterday I only got 2 sections of the ceiling done, but I had a fire going up here and the fire was, you know, going pretty good when I left at about 4:30. So it was nice and warm in the cabin. Well, I was pleasantly surprised to find this morning that even though the ground's frozen and it was below freezing last night, I came up this morning and it was warm enough in the cabin that the Geniverse was still taking a charge from the solar panels. The sun is not anywhere near shining on the solar panels yet, so it was just a few watts, but it was gathering charge from first thing this morning. So that bodes well for the idea of this cabin staying relatively warm if we get it insulated and all of that, because I can already tell a difference. So that's good. Kaden, what do you got to do today?
Clean the trash.
Floss. All right. Yeah, Caden is supposed to be cleaning up all the wiring mess that I made while I was putting in all of our outlets and everything. So he's going to clean that up while I'm hanging the ceiling insulation, and then we're going to get started on the walls. I'm hoping we can make a big dent in the insulation process today. We'll see how that goes. We got all the insulation put on the ceiling, and while I was doing that, Caden was over here learning how to play the drums on my new saw blade. Actually, he's using my old saw blade now, so that's good. Oh, I'm gonna turn my hat around and look like Brad. All right, so I got all of my insulation on the ceiling, and it doesn't match because we are piecing together scraps of foam rubber to insulate this cabin, and man, it's working great. Now, I still haven't decided what I'm gonna put on my ceiling, like to finish it out. What do you think? Metal? I'm leaning toward like corrugated barn metal, like old metal.
No, well, I think you should do like wood.
Well, so I don't want to use my big, thick, heavy oak wood simply because the way I framed this, I put my joists on 4-foot centers and I laid 2x4s flat for my purlins. And because those 2x4s are laying flat, you hang a bunch of weight out in the middle of the 4 feet, they might sag. And I don't want to cause problems with the cabin, so I want to put something lightweight. So I'm thinking either corrugated barn metal or something a lot thinner. Even thought about doing something like getting sheets of plywood that are like 1/4 inch thick and ripping those into boards and then kind of making it look like, you know, shiplap or whatever, but it would be really lightweight. I don't know. Something cheap that looks good and fits the style. But I kind of want to do the ceiling first. So I'm going to go ahead and get the walls insulated.
I think the viewers should comment what you should put in.
Leave
Wood
us,
or metal?
leave us your opinions. Wood or metal? What kind of suggestions do you have? I will say, I started my morning with some great suggestions about the porch railing. Now, it may be spring before I get to putting a porch rail on this because I'll have to build steps and all that. But I had talked about wanting to not obstruct the view of the pond and got several recommendations to use like hog panels or cattle panels in that space between the top porch rail and the bottom. That way you can look through the panels and your visibility is not obstructed. And it kind of still fits the style. And I really like that. I had several send me pictures and they look fantastic. So I think that's what I'm going to do with the railing. But like I said, it'll probably be, you know, a month or two before we get to that. So back to this. We're going to insulate the walls next.
Okay, mister.
Was that a little animated? Back to work.
No, you were back to work.
I got my leg involved too. Well, they can't see my leg, so I'm all right with that. All right, back to work. It is lunchtime, and we made a run to the Dollar General and picked up some hot dogs. Oh, and the other day, I even picked us up some hot dog sticks so that we can roast our hot dogs right here in our stove while we're up here. So we're all set. We're about to have
All I
lunch.
have to do is just go.
All right, so just a quick little update on how the foam installation is going. I've actually got this wall over here completed, and it's going pretty well. I'm able to put it in between the girders, and it, you know, I just cut it the width and fit it in here as tight as I can fit it. Some of the places I put nails just to kind of, you know, make sure that it doesn't fall out until I get the wall covering on. I've got it buttoned up pretty tight there. And I can also tell you, it's about to roast me out of here today. I got that fire cranking on, you know, and we cooked our lunch and all that. And it was cold this morning. But the sun's out now and it's 50 degrees or so. So I am just about to roast out of here. I'm gonna have to open the doors and let it cool out in here a little bit. Now Caden is, well, he's real productive. Where you at?
Right here?
Well, you just taking a nap? Is it nap time? Well, look at that. Got his boots kicked off. So I came out here earlier and he was taking a run and go and jumping on the foam pile. But that stuff's kind of slick. So he had the whole foam pile like sliding off of the deck. So I am about done handling these sheets of foam. But man, they are working out great for insulation and it's free. Can't beat it. This is gonna work fantastic. Will you bubblegum challenge in here? Oh, that was a good one. How many pieces of gum you got?
5.
5? All right, well, I would say we got a lot done today, but we didn't get a lot done today. I got a lot done today, and he blew a lot of bubbles. You did blow a lot of bubbles, didn't you? So I got almost all the cabin insulated. It's so hard to run a serious operation around here. Here I am trying to be a fine, upstanding homesteading channel here on YouTube, and we had a good day though. We finished out the ceiling, and we got 2 complete walls covered, and the hard parts of the other 2 walls finished. So I got all the high parts. So basically probably one more evening up here and I'll be able to knock this out.
That sounds like a gun.
Well, that was a pretty good one. quick little break from the insulation because I'm actually down to my last wall that I have to insulate. I've got insulation on every other wall, and I'm up here today going to finish that last wall, but the solar panels have successfully caught up with my electricity usage and topped the Geniverse off at 100%. I think last night when I left here it was on 80%, so it was able to top off the charge. And a big part of that is the fact that I have the cabin insulated now mostly, so it's holding in enough heat to where the batteries can accept that charge. This tells me that especially during the summertime, man, we'll be able to use whatever we want and it'll stay caught up and charged up. We are insulated. It's all mismatch like I was telling you before. So we have some black and some gray, some dark gray, some light gray, you know, a little bit here and there. None of that matters because it's all gonna be covered up with the siding that we put on it. But I'm excited about this stuff. I mean, it fit tight in here. Most of it is like 3/4 inch thick foam, and I was able to tuck it back in the corners. I mean, there's like no airflow, no air leaks in here now. Well, except for my floor. I'm gonna have to insulate underneath the floor, which I should have done earlier. I was up here last night and winds were gusting up to 32 miles an hour. The feels like temperature was 22 degrees. And the wind was just whistling around up here, but I felt no breezes in here. It stayed nice and warm and toasty. So I'm satisfied that we've got us a good cabin, a good setup here, and I'm just about ready to start bringing up the supplies to build the loft. So I've decided I'm going to build the loft first. I'll get the loft framed in. That way I can get up on the loft to work on the ceiling. I think I'm gonna put corrugated metal on the ceiling, like the silver stuff, old barn metal type siding. And then of course the walls will be our rough cut oak that we milled. So looking forward to getting into that. Got a few days off coming up here pretty soon, so I hope to make some progress. Well guys, hope you enjoyed today's video. We appreciate y'all watching. Don't forget, get outside and enjoy God's creation. It's beautiful out here. Y'all have a good day.